The guy that's going to have the most eyes on him is Kenny Pickett because he is first rounder last year. He's coming into his second year. He is now going to get all first-team reps this year. There's no more third or second-string quarterback talk. He is the guy. He's getting all first-team reps. Mitch got it last year. Now it's Kenny.
Yeah, we all know what happened with Kenny Pickett last year. The man was eased in onto the team, being a first-round rookie. Mitch was named the starter, but until week 4, that's when Kenny Pickett stepped in because Mitch wasn't really playing too well for a veteran, former first-rounder that he was.
And whether you agreed with it or not, it did help Kenny in the long run because you've seen when he first stepped in, versus the Jets, versus the Bills, versus the Miami, right?
And then the Eagles, I mean, it was a little rough around the edges.
And don't get me wrong, it was against great talent. It was against elite teams. You're talking about playoff teams, right? Like, this is top talent. And, of course, he struggled in his early games. That was expected.
Yeah, and then the bye week hit, and then we played the second half of the season, and it was night and day when it came to Kenny Pickett.
Yes.
Now, I will say, granted, during the second half of last year, we were going up against lesser type of competition, like the Panthers and the Falcons, teams like that. They weren't really that great last year, obviously.
No.
But, I mean, you saw the growth that Pickett had with his players, with the playbook, with his confidence on the field, with just the way he was doing.
The competition mattered, you're right. But it's more so just getting a feel of the NFL speed and getting ready for the next level. That's what was most important for Kenny getting used to.
And another
just
thing,
the basics.
And another thing with the first half of the season, he was more turnover heavy compared to the second half, where he was very less turnover heavy. If I remember correctly, I think he maybe threw 2 interceptions total second half of the season. I may be wrong on that, but I think I remember something like that, reading something about that.
He was very safe with the football. He was just more confident. He didn't take as many chances, which can be a good or bad thing. We'll see what that has an effect in training camp. That's one thing we're going to look forward to, and hopefully that adds with the extension of the playbook. Like let's air the ball out. Let's let Kenny loose. Let's see what he's truly got as a quarterback. Right?
Yeah, and when it came to the Raiders and Ravens game last year, that's what really stuck out with him last year in his rookie season with those 2 game-winning drives that he drove the Steelers down to win the game with. It really showcased his true potential of what he could really do.
And that's when us two were sold, was back-to-back game-winning drives in primetime battles against the Raiders and especially the Ravens, right?
Yeah.
Like, that touched us personally. And that's when we were sold. Like, you just know, like, this guy has that energy. This guy has that mindset. He's a winner. He hates losing. And we've seen it all in the offseason and in his interviews, especially with the one he did with football and with Ben, right? That was a great little podcast they did.
Yeah.
This guy is just a football junkie. There's 2 things that Kenny is so fond of, and that is field and film. He always is on the field, and he's always studying the film.
Yeah.
He's a football junkie. He's a film junkie.
And he's a man that is a leader on the team already in his second year with the team. He's a big leader. Many people back in his Panthers days were preaching about Pickett's leadership. He comes with the Steelers. That's still the case. Allen Robinson has even had nothing but praise about Kenny Pickett's leadership. Literally everybody that has come to the Steelers this offseason. Pickett has reached out to every single one, telling them, welcome to the team. I'm looking forward to teaming up with you, seeing what we do this season.
He's already showing that leader mentality. He's been in Pittsburgh for 6-7 years going on now?
Something like that.
So, and he's training with pretty much all the targets, including the line. You want to build that chemistry.
Yeah, he's getting the whole offense, all the players together to work on their communication.
And what I love about that is last year, right, when he had third and second string reps, he only worked with guys like Connor Hayward and George Pickens and some of the other depth guys, which is why when he stepped in, that's who he really targeted. That's who he was most comfortable with. That's when we saw the offense starting to strike, was with those guys. And now he's working with Robinson. He's working with Deontay. He's working with Pat, which means come training camp, that's just going to continue to build.
Yeah.
And come the football season, hopefully we see what it can truly be, what this offense is truly made of. That's why last year he showed so much confidence in guys he's already worked with. Now he's working with everybody. That's great. That boosts confidence, that boosts trust, that boosts chemistry. That's amazing. Plus, this improved offensive line. Kenny's got to be ecstatic. And he just keeps working, man. You know, I'm excited for Kenny Pickett in year 2. We should all be excited. I think he is, out of everyone on this roster, for all Steelers fans or a majority of Steelers fans, he is the guy that everyone's going to have their eyes on because, yeah, he is the guy. He is the guy we're going to go with. He's in a rookie contract. We spent a first rounder on him.
Yeah.
Now let's see what this guy's made of. And I don't think there's many excuses for Kenny no more, only because he's been in the Pittsburgh system for 5-6 years, right? He is 25 years old. You know, he's I want to say he's a little bit more well advanced when it comes to the speed of the NFL. Like he's mentally just a football mind, and he understands the assignments, and he's used to the speed, and he's used to, you know, how to read defenses. And now how much well advanced is he going to be in year 2?
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to slinging the football.
I think he showcased enough last year, and I think he showcased enough this offseason that we have a lot of confidence, and we are excited in what he can do at quarterback.
As we all should be. Now,
we have a lot of faith. We have a lot of confidence in Kenny Pickett.
yeah. Now, this year, the expectation is to see a significant jump, almost like a Trevor Lawrence type jump. You know, he didn't have the most stellar rookie year, but you saw last year. You even saw it in preseason. Trevor Lawrence showed so much progression, especially as the season kept going. You've seen, like, yeah, he can be that guy. And I have full confidence Kenny can also be that guy for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I have full confidence in Kenny Pickett. I'm a believer. I am a true believer. I didn't think he'd advance this well into the NFL as much as he already has. But how much more advanced can he be come year 2? Training camp is going to tell that. First team reps in training camp is going to tell that. How can he do on 7-on-7 drills? How can he do in 2-minute offense? How's he going to do in that?
Yeah.
That's going to be something we're going to really look forward to. How much more communication is he going to have with Deontay and the other targets, right? He's going to have so much more time to work with the top targets. He's going to have so much more time to work with the offense than he did last year. This is great for Kenny. This is what you want to see. But hopefully what he gets, the reps he gets, translates to the football field. I have confidence, but I also think there is no excuse for Kenny. So I also don't want to overhype him.
No, of course not. You don't want to overhype the guy. The man's only 25 years old, coming into a second year. But I think he just showcased enough.
Yeah. I do want
that coming into a second year. I'm not expecting a mega jump. I'm not expecting a Joe Burrow season.
No.
I'm not expecting a Pat Mahomes season. Nothing like that.
Granted, he's a first rounder. That is the expectation.
But in his second year, I think that's too much of an expectation.
Only because, as well as the entire Steelers season, and we'll talk about it in future podcast episodes as we get closer to the regular season.
Yeah.
There is no rush for this team to win the big one yet. All we want is a very good and substantial growth and a significant jump from this entire Steelers team. But most importantly, obviously, the offense. But it does start with Kenny Pickett. And some of that does also fall on the coordinator in Matt Canada, who you guys know we're not a big fan of. We're not very fond of that bald guy in Pittsburgh.
No,
we're not.
We stated it several times. We have faith in Kenny, but none in Canada.
Yes, exactly.
And when it comes to Kenny's second year, because this is important, Canada's system will play a part in his second year.
Like, I want to see Kenny sling it more. I want to see some extra touchdowns. I want to see some better stats. I want to see, because last year he showed like he can throw the ball. He's very composed. He can use his mobility. I like to see him use less of it because I feel like he depends on it a little too much, and he could work in the pocket a little more, especially with a better offensive line. I think that is where he could really grow as a quarterback. Read his assignments, read the defense, hit his targets, make his throws. I think that's what's going to make him a great quarterback, and he has the system to do it. So I want to see him sling it more. I want to see some better stats. I want to see some extra touchdowns. I want to see some extra scoring, right? I want to see some deep shots. But some of that also does fall on the coordinator to scheme that up and benefit the offense in general. Yeah. And benefit your quarterback.
Because if you can't benefit Kenny, you can't benefit the offense.
There is a reason Matt Canada is back, and it's because Art Rooney II, our president, our owner, said, I don't want to throw a bump in the road in the growth and the connection of Matt Canada and Kenny Pickett. That's why Matt Canada is back, because he doesn't want to harm Kenny's growth by having another coordinator in. I think that's bullshit. We think that's bullshit.
He feels like he doesn't want to tarnish the chemistry that they could provide.
But that's why he's back. So,
but that's not a good enough reason. I'm sorry, it's not.
It's not. I agree. But because of that, Kenny has to step up, and there's no excuses for him. But, of course, Canada has to step up.
Canada needs to aid in the man's development.
Yes.
because that will factor in Pickett in year 2.
And that is where, in the training camp, is where we're going to start seeing the beginnings of that.
Yeah.
So it may not translate immediately into the NFL season, but that training camp is when we're really going to start seeing what this offense can be and what we could add. And it's a good time to kind of just practice and try out new things. And let's see what the offense can bring to the table, right? Open the playbook a little bit. Let's see what Kenny can do. He's got a great defense going up against, right? I mean, he has a lot surrounding him to be a great quarterback.
And to learn from.
So Kenny Pickett in his second year, we're very excited, but we also expect a pretty good jump from him. So that is the expectation. And training camp starts that. And I'm very glad he's going to be getting first-team reps all camp. So as long as he stays healthy, as long as he keeps doing the 2 Fs, which is field and film, I'm very confident in the guy to grow.